Hello and welcome to this Jinen Qigong Lift You Up, Port You Down course. What I'd like to do at this point is give a bit of an introduction as to what Jinen Qigong is, what its history is, and what Lift You Up, Port You Down is as a practice. So the first thing I'd like to say is that Lift You Up, Port You Down was the main form that was used and taught at the Huajia Center. And the Huajia Center was a Qigong center that was set up in China in the late 80s and early 90s. It went through a number of iterations. We don't need to go into the history of it. But what we can say is that well over 400,000 people went through this center with significant diagnosis, and there was a 95% recovery rate using these methods. So it's a method that is well proven, and it's a method that is internationally respected. Now, it isn't to say that it was just lift you up, port you down that was taught. There are a number of different methods that are taught, but lift you up, port you down is it's the most accessible, or it's the most prominent level of practice that we have. So it's designed to be practiced by anybody with any level of mobility. Um, and it can be adapted in many, many ways. And although we're not going to be talking about the adaptations here, um, one of the underlying things that is important to remember is that it's the intention and the awareness of the practice that actually creates the effect within us. It isn't the accuracy of movement that is required in order to get great effects. And we see this time and time again when we consider the type of people who would have been interacting with Qigong at the Huajia Center. They wouldn't necessarily have had amazing mobility. So therefore, the fact that you see these great results with people who may be bedbound, they may be unable to walk, they may have mobility issues in all kinds of aspects of themselves. What we find is that actually it's not the accuracy of the practice that gives it the benefit. There's something else going on here. Now, this isn't to say that accuracy isn't important. And I don't want to be putting it out there that accuracy isn't important. But Qigong in itself is the body and the mind working together. So the movement needs to have meaning before it can be classified as Qigong. Now, the meaning of the movement can then be refined through accuracy of practice and direction of intention. So accuracy is important, but it's not the first thing that we should be exploring. So that's one of the ways that I like to work within this training program. So what is Lift You Up, Port You Down? Lift You Up, Port You Down is a method that relies on a basic idea of releasing and gathering. And so every movement within the practice, and we see this kind of movement, we see this kind of movement, we see all kinds of movements that are releasing and gathering. And so this is the basis of what we'll be exploring on the course. We'll be going through, we'll be looking at the structure of the set. We'll be breaking down each section of the set in detail. We'll be doing some work around the various acupuncture points and various other points in the body that we connect to. So we want to give you a fully rounded idea of the training. We want to give you a fully rounded idea of the practice. And then most importantly, we want to give you the opportunity to practice by yourself. And in order to do this, we supply practice sets as part of the training, both in video and in audio format. So hopefully what you'll be able to do is then just start initially by following the video practice. You can then start to ignore the visual and just work with the narrative of the practice, and then ultimately be able to practice by yourself. So this is the intention, to give you a tool with which to explore self-healing practices, and to take on something that is truly transformative in your life. So I look forward to working with you, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. Thank you very much.